Hello, everybody, and welcome to a pre-Christmas edition of The Last Word. I am your host, TJ Chamberlain, and I brought back an old friend. For those who remember 2 years ago, had the man on my left, Brady.
What's up, TJ?
Long time no see. How's all with you been?
Yes, sir, man. I finished up my first semester at UMass. I think the last time I was here, I was a sophomore, so senior now. I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, because you have one more semester and then you're done.
Crazy. Time's flying by.
Yeah, which is also crazy. Well, the last time you saw me, I actually had hair. I don't have it anymore.
It's a good look. I like it.
Yeah. And we got a lot of sports to talk about. Obviously, we have the NFL in our normal Week 16 NFL review. Thursday night game with the Rams in Seattle. That was pretty high scoring, and the Rams blew that.
Yep. I mean, I was telling my buddies, I said, I think that might have been the greatest regular season game I've ever seen. I mean, one, because of just the product that was on the field. It was super entertaining. The 2-point conversion, we've never seen that. Like the ball going behind the line of scrimmage, and then the 2-point conversion to win it. I guess that's never happened before. But then also the stakes. I mean, that's going to decide probably an entire division and the number one seed in the NFC.
Yeah, Seattle's now the 1 seed from that game. So it's like everything is like perfect cinema lined up. And now Seattle, 2 games left in the regular season, has the 1 seed. First time they've been the 1 seed since, 2014 it would probably be?
Yeah. Probably since the Legion of Boom, right?
Yeah. So decade.
Yep. I'm a big Seattle guy. I root for the Cowboys, but Seattle's a team that I always kind of pull for. I love their jerseys. I love their home crowd, and I'd love to see the NFC run through there. It would be really cool.
Yep. Now that you mentioned Dallas, perfect segue, because now we head to the Saturday games. NFC East battle with Philly and Washington. Philadelphia wins and eliminates Dallas from playoff contention.
Yep. I mean, I didn't really have that much faith going into the game. I feel like Philly had a get-right game with the Raiders last week. They look pretty decent.
And also because Geno Smith is buns.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
actually, no, Kenny Pickett started that.
We'll get to Geno in a little bit. I like Geno, but it's been a rough season for him. But back to the Philly game. I just think Washington, they've fallen off so much since last year. I don't want to call their run like a fluke last year, because getting to the NFC Championship, that doesn't happen by pure luck. But, I mean, if you looked at their roster, they had a ton of aging people. They didn't really have that much talent. You know, Tampa Bay, I don't think they were as good as people thought last year, and then Detroit was depleted when they played them in the playoffs. And then when they got to Philly, it was like, Philly had a super dominant roster, but Washington, again, when you just stack up their talent, they're really near the bottom of the league.
Yeah, and also their only big move in the offseason was getting Debo. That was pretty much it.
Right.
Which he's had an all-right season, especially with McLaurin being injured.
A lot better season than last year. I mean, last year, if you remember, it was brutal.
He was abysmal last year.
He had that one game in primetime. I want to say it was a Thursday when he had probably 5 drops or something. And he started to get booed in San Francisco. You could see the writing on the wall.
I think it was one of the last games, too. I think it was week either 15 or 16 against the Rams.
Yep, and they were already having a bad year.
Yeah, when Juwan Jennings was taking that role, it was like, oh, Ayuk got injured. Time for Debo to do well. Nope, Juwan Jennings has a career year. Mm-hmm. And he's kept that up, and he's going to be getting a payday.
Do you want to talk about Philly a little bit?
Yeah, because they pretty much have clinched the division now. I think they have clinched the division.
I think the way that it's lining up right now, they would avoid playing the NFC West until the conference championship. And I think if that's the case, I really like their path to the conference championship. I mean, I really do not like Philly, but they have played really good football in the playoffs the last couple seasons. I mean, other than, 2023, that was rough. But, they made the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 seasons. Say what you want about Jalen Hurts. He's not had that great of a year.
Yeah.
But I will say he's pretty good in January. So I really think one thing that they need to get back to is getting under center. I think that's something that would give them a lot of help with the run game. I feel like most of the time they run the ball, they run out of shotgun. When you get in 12 personnel, that's what a lot of teams like McVay is doing that a lot.
Yeah, he's been known.
Shanahan loves doing that, and I feel like that's something Philly should be getting to. It just opens up everything when you can go under center. But I feel like maybe they don't do that because Jalen Hurts is limited there.
Yeah, they'd be playing Green Bay as of now.
Right.
Because it would be the 3 to 17.
And I would like, if that's the matchup, I think I'd like Philadelphia. I'm sorry to say it.
Speaking of
with the
Green
way it's
Bay,
looking right now.
Green Bay, that game was They blew it. They blew that game. I get Jordan Love got injured. Malik Willis was doing all right.
He's a really good backup.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of him. I feel like he can get a shot somewhere down the line.
That throw from Williams to Moore, I'm like, oh, good Jesus, we are cooked.
I mean, I feel like I listened to another podcast called Stay Hot, and they have a guy, his name's Theo Ash. He's one of like the lead talkers on the show. And he was a couple weeks ago just going through like all the mishaps that Green Bay's gone through since they won the Super Bowl back in, 2011. And one of the things he mentioned was the onside kick fumble at Seattle to go to the Super Bowl. And I got shades of that just watching the Chicago game. Like, how often do teams recover onside kicks anymore? Just for them to even be in position for that Williams throw to happen at the end, like all the things that it took to get there. Just very unlucky between that stuff and also the injuries, obviously.
That's the perfect time in editing as soon as Brady mentioned that. The PTSD from that game just kicked in. I'm like, that's buried deep in my mind.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you're just re-digging it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Now the Sunday games. We've got the 1 o'clock games. We start with Buffalo and Cleveland in a game that was a lot closer than it should have been. Also, R.I.P. to Quishon Judkins' knee.
That was
terrible. Brutal.
Really, really terrible. What was it? I think he broke his leg and he dislocated his ankle?
Yeah, he dislocated his ankle and fractured his fibula.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And I was watching that, and once I saw the whole play on Twitter, I'm like, oh, good Jesus.
I saw a lot of people blaming Shadur. I don't know if I would have put too much on him. That wasn't like a hospital pass over the middle of the field. I think that was it was a really good read by the defender because he got downfield so fast. Just unlucky because, I mean, Judkins also like planted his leg at the absolute worst moment.
And there it was. And also, Buffalo had a little injury scare before the half ended with Josh Allen.
They did.
Which, that happened. Again, I had Josh Allen in my main league, and I'm like, oh, no.
Yep. It didn't really matter because, I mean, for me,
didn't do anything.
You're talking about this earlier. He only put up 7 points even though he played the second half in total.
Yeah, I lost my aunt in the semis, so if she wins a championship next week, I'm not going to hear the end of that for the rest of the year. Heading into next year. Next game, the Chargers and the Cowboys, which that was a rough day for you.
I can speak on this one. Like I mentioned before, I'm a Cowboys fan. This season's been one to definitely forget. I just told my dad as soon as they made the Micah trade, it's like you're forfeiting an entire season, and it's just disappointing because obviously the offense has been so amazing this year. Dak Prescott, I think he's 32 years old. Maybe arguably his best season. You could throw 2023 in there. He's had an injury history, and I do think like his game can age very gracefully. I think he could be a guy that's effective in his late 30s, even maybe 40. But when you have an injury history like that every year, to me, you have to make it count. And for them to just be so terrible on defense with the Eberflus, his coaching style not lining up to like the players' strengths. You know, we have Bland and Diggs and Ravel from the
Bland's
draft.
now out for the year.
Right, and those are man corners. He comes in, he has them play zone defense. Then you bring in Kenneth Murray, who's probably the worst player I've ever seen wear the star in my entire life. Before we had Quinnen Williams, we probably had the worst defensive tackles in football. It's just been a mess all season, and it was just the Quinnen Williams trade, I'm very happy we made it, but too late to try to fix things. Even with him, the defense still was not good. And then you see that again in the game against the Chargers, right? Like Justin Herbert's probably been the most pressured quarterback all season. He's taken a ton of sacks. Dallas didn't lay a finger on him all day. He didn't take one sack for the whole time, for the first time all season. Every time he dropped back, his completion percentage, I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but It has to be above 80%. Like it was really
game.
He didn't miss because these guys were wide open all game and he just wasn't getting touched.
He was 23 for 29.
Right. This is what I mean.
I'm
very excited for the season to be over.
Yeah, and I mean, you've had a rough year when you're having Quentin Johnston put up 4 receptions for 104.
Yep. And I do want to say this. I think Justin Herbert would be very deserving of the MVP. He might not have the numbers, but what he has to deal with Slater and Alt being
out for the year,
and Hampton being out most of the year, not having any run game. They only have 4 losses. They've won a ton of games in a row, and they still have the chance that the division it's like they can control their own destiny because they played Denver in the last week. I seriously think, I checked this morning, his MVP odds are plus 7,500. If they somehow win out these next 2 games and they win the division, I really, really would be a big supporter of him for MVP.
Yeah,
totally.
That's if Denver loses to Kansas City on Christmas. That's a main thing, which KC losing to Tennessee 26-9. I was like, I wasn't expecting them to do a lot with Rice out and now Mahomes out for the year. But good Lord.
What do you think about the state of Kansas City right now?
Right now, so Mahomes is out. I think he misses the beginning part of next year.
I think he'll be back just because he's such a stud. I feel like guys are like any superstar, usually they come back sooner than you'd think. Yeah, but I just think overall, I even next year, I don't really see how they have a shot to contention because their roster is just so poorly constructed.
So, I mean, they have some draft picks, though. Like, they're going to end up probably with a top 10 pick, which I think they're taking Jeremiah Love. Because their run game has been not great.
Pacheco has always, to me, been a very overrated player.
Yeah, this year he's just
Yep.
Good Lord.
Yep, I agree. They don't have any juice, worthy. Very, very big bust. I thought after the playoff run he had last year, he was really going to come on because he looked very strong.
I think the injury earlier on in the year kind of derailed
it. Yeah, that totally could be true. I think even aside from that, though, he's just too small. He can't play through any physicality, and he's not really good with the ball in his hands after the catch either.
Yeah, he's basically deep ball or bust, which the Titans now move up to 3-12, which also probably a month away until they hire Mike McCarthy because that's going to be what happens.
I don't think I'd mind. I honestly think that could be a good fit because I think from their standpoint, they're a team that's like so at the bottom. McCarthy is very good at developing quarterbacks, and I think he could be a great bridge coach between like him and then, I don't know, 3 years down the line or something like that. I don't think that he's a ceiling raiser, but I think that he can turn them into a very functional program where they can be like 10-7 in 2 years from now. And Cam Ward looks great, and then maybe they decide to move on from him or something for a young offensive mind when the team is like already built.
Possibly, which I think honestly with the Titans, they played at times better than a 3-12 team.
Yeah.
Cam Ward has shown flashes. So
Cam Ward is the man.
Has been, bad.
I honestly think, he hasn't had a perfect rookie season by any means, but I would say he's probably like the least of their worries right now. He's looked really good.
Yeah, situation as well. Also, because they have, in my opinion, 2 of the worst contracts in the NFL with Calvin Ridley, and they also paid Dan Moore $20 million.
Yeah, that's rough.
When I saw that contract, I'm like, Dan Moore got how much money?
I also know, J.C. Latham, that has been a terrible pick for them, too. He's been... They picked him, I think, 7 or something like that?
He was in the top 10.
Yeah, and that pick has been a failure. So when you pick that high and you have you basically like have a season so poorly to be in position to make a pick like that. And when you don't make that pick, it's like you don't really improve from like one season to another. So that's how you stay at the bottom.
The Titans have not drafted well the last number of years.
No, nope.
Because they had, I think it was Caleb Farley. That was
and
massive bust.
A lot of
Traylon
injury
Burks,
concerns.
Gone.
Yep.
J.C. Latham has not been good.
No.
I think Cam Ward, honestly, has been probably their best first-round pick the last 5 years.
I think if they did a redraft right now, if there was a redraft of the league, he'd still go number 1. I think he's showed that I think he'll be a really good player.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next game. There was a lot of news heading into this game, especially from Miami's side. Tua benched. That news broke Wednesday morning, which I'm like, why did this not happen sooner?
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? What do you think about the decision?
I think with that, I'm like, this should have been done a month ago.
Yep.
Because Tua has been the reason why they've lost games.
Yep.
Which now I see when the news broke on Sunday that they're thinking of keeping McDaniel. I'm like, McDaniel's done an all right job riding the ship. So I understand it.
I'll be honest. I mean, I'm not a Tua fan at all. I think he's probably one of the worst starters in the league. But I did not like Quinn Ewers at all coming out of the draft. I think him and Tua overall are very similar players. Tua probably has a better feel of the offense, even though he's just been so terrible this year. I think he probably would have been the better option for that game. But like you said, they should have ripped the Band-Aid off a while ago. I think he probably should have been benched when they were 2 and whatever. Like when they were really bad, I think they should have pulled the plug there and just got a bigger sample size with Ewers. And, I think we know who Zach Wilson is at this point. But you could have at least just...
Zach Wilson is still one of the worst starters I've seen
because
in my life.
I think it's been very obvious, like, Tua at this point in his career, there's no way that he can really have a resurgence. He's so limited.
Taking that contract.
Yeah,
so he's getting cut.
Right. So I think Miami's known for a while they're going to cut him. They probably should have just
that dead cap is
him.
going to be
bad.
This is the first year of that extension.
And I think it's kind of like Cleveland with Deshaun Watson.
And he has another year.
And they still have him on the
roster.
They have
another year.
And he's going to be on the roster next year. But I think these are two poor franchises, if we're being honest. They are not good franchises. I think they both would have just been better off if you just cut the guy. I know you're going to have to deal with the dead cap. I think the thing with Tua is that, like, post-June 1st cut thing. If they cut him right now, they'd owe him $99 million, or that's what they'd be taking as a cap hit. If they wait till June 1st, it's like $66 million, so I can understand it. But, yeah, he's definitely not going to be a Dolphin next year.
Yeah. Who their starter is, we shall see. If they end up drafting a QB, which honestly I think this is more of a weaker class for QBs.
What about Malik Willis? Any chance?
I think Malik Willis, he's going to cash in. But honestly, some of the better options, like I think, especially now that Daniel Jones is out with a torn Achilles, I think the best free agent QB available from what we've seen, it might be Mac Jones.
That's fair. And, if they keep McDaniel, I could actually see Mac Jones in Miami. I think that would be a good fit because it's like the Shanahan type of offense. I could see that.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if that happens as well.
Yeah.
Because Mac did all right last year in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
When he was there.
He was. I think he actually outperformed Trevor, if you compared their numbers.
Yeah, and I mean, Trevor has been doing good this year.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this.
We'll talk about that when we get to the Jacksonville game. Real quick, blowout go through. Saints and Jets. You don't expect much from that game. Both teams are not great. The Jets shut down Garrett Wilson earlier in the week because they're playing for nothing. They're tanking for the first pick.
Very obvious. I mean, they're just starting Brady Cook, who he's not a serious NFL guy.
They're going for Dante Moore or Mendoza.
Yep.
That's the end game.
I do want to say though, the Saints. I'm starting to see the vision. I liked Shuck coming out of the draft.
Yeah, Shuck's actually been solid the last few weeks.
They've won 3 in a row. Their defense is playing a lot better. Olave, he's looking healthy. Like he's been good recently.
He killed me in my semi.
Kellen Moore, he's been calling like good offense recently. I feel like I can see the vision with them. I think in a few years down the line, I think Shuck is their guy, and I can see how they can be competitive in like maybe 2 years from now.
Yeah, I think it's possible as well. And this is probably the first offseason they aren't going to have, being in cap hell as well.
Yes.
Which works because it's the first time in like half a decade.
Maybe even longer. It's been for a super long time.
Yeah.
Mickey Loomis.
Somehow he still has a job.
He's crazy.
Yeah. Another game which is somehow closer than it should have been. Minnesota and the Giants game.
I'll be honest, I didn't really catch any of this one. Did you watch any of this?
That was a brutal game.
Okay. I thought so. I saw that McCarthy got hurt.
He got injured again.
Yep.
He injured his hand this time.
Okay.
Jordan Mason got injured. Aaron Jones missed a bit of time with injury as well. I think Jordan Addison got banged up a bit.
Jeez.
This is the best game Justin Jefferson's had in like a month and a half.
I was gonna say I heard something that he converted like a 3rd and 18. Is that
I think
true?
It was that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, McCarthy only had 108 yards passing. Jackson Dart had a horrific game.
I will say there is one thing that I saw. I don't know if it's because they're coaching scared at this point and they don't want him to get injured again, but he only threw the ball 5 times in the entire first half.
I think that's what it was. He threw it 13 times on the entire
You can't coach scared. And for a guy like Mike Kafka, who's their interim right now,
yeah.
I mean, you're basically auditioning for possibly the head coaching job, but also future offensive coordinator jobs because you're probably not going to be in that building next year. And for you to call this game so weak, like, you're not making a statement at all. I really did not like their approach.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see who the Giants head coach is. One name I have seen linked, especially recently, Marcus Freeman.
I have seen this. Yep.
Which I simply, if there is somehow, some way, Joe Shane listening to this, I simply ask, are you out of your mind? Do you know what happens with college coaches? Most of them blow up in their face. Like, we saw what happened if we're going way back, Lane Kiffin.
Yep.
Back with the Raiders, but also at the same time, that's Al Davis, and we know how Al Davis was.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I let me just get this out there first. I think that if you get rid of Dable, you also have to get rid of Joe Shane. Like 100%. I don't know if that's what they will do.
Next year.
Right. Right now, I've seen that a little bit, but
why?
I'm a big believer in you, like your head coach and your GM. That is a pairing, and I think when you get rid of one, and let's say you have 4 or 5 years together, and there really hasn't been any success, you got to get rid of the other two. I think that they both have to be aligned. And I don't think there's any reason as to why he should stay there. Think about all the free agents that he's let walk out of there.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Saquon, Daniel Jones. Well, they paid Daniel Jones instead of Saquon.
Your guy, McKinney.
I know McKinney.
What are they doing?
Let him walk.
Right.
I was happy when he signed him. I'm like, yes.
It's crazy. They've been underwhelming too defensively this year. I think they need
to Seattle.
Yeah, another one. Yeah. They need another defensive tackle, I think. I think that would really unlock their pass rush because it's just tough. You'd think with the way that they're constructed, they have Thibodeau. I don't think he's played recently, but
he's shut down for the year.
Right. They have Carter, Burns, and Lawrence in the middle. But from what I've seen is you can attack those guys running the ball on the outside.
And we also have all the off-the-field stuff with Carter.
Yes. It's just I think a really good pick I think I've seen mocked to them a little bit is Peter Woods from Clemson.
Yeah.
I think that could unlock their defense into being something pretty crazy.
Yeah. Next game, Tampa and Carolina. Carolina is leading the NFC South with 2 games left in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend of mine from North Carolina, so he's happy. I did not expect this at all. I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're going to slightly improve. Division lead was not on my bingo card.
Yep. I mean, I think if you're a neutral fan, everybody loves Carolina. I think we're all pulling for Carolina a little bit.
Yeah, Ted McMillan's a dog.
He is. And Bryce Young's playing better. I really like him.
They're getting him the ball finally.
Yes.
I'm like, hallelujah.
Yep. They have a really good offensive line. I feel like that's overlooked. I really like their offensive line.
Dave Canales has done a really great job.
He has.
As well.
And on Tampa Bay,
the
anybody that was saying Baker Mayfield was deserving of the most valuable player in the entire league. I mean, let's be serious. I saw so many lists through like the first 6 weeks of the season, like top quarterback rankings, and this guy in like everybody's list was like 5. Like, are we serious? You're gonna put him over guys like Justin Herbert? I mean, if you put Baker Mayfield right now in Justin Herbert's position, they might have the Chargers might be like 5 and 10 or something like that. Seriously.
It is. It's not been a good month plus for Baker and for Tampa as well, which I think if Tampa misses the playoffs, because at this point I think I've seen Tampa's lost their last 4.
They've lost something like 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 8 or something like that.
They've lost 6 of their last 7.
Not good. Not good.
If they miss the playoffs, I think Bowles gets fired.
And I think he should. I honestly don't really see what he provides, if I'm being honest.
So I think if that happens, Tampa's probably one of the best openings.
They probably should have just promoted Cohen, no?
They should have.
I mean, because he's doing a phenomenal job.
He is, which is now a perfect segue as well. Jacksonville, they were dominating Denver most of that game.
I have been a huge Jacksonville supporter since before the season started. And I had a lot of conversations with my friends about like how good I thought that they could be. I had them getting 10 wins this year. They could get 13.
They could, yeah. Like I had the Patriots getting 11 wins,
and they don't even have Hunter.
Yeah,
who could be making a ton of plays for them right now.
Yeah, but one of their guys they got when he went down, Jacoby Myers has been an excellent addition.
Yep,
and he got a well-deserved payday, 3 years at $60 million.
Absolutely. I saw something. One of the coaches said like the reason why they love him so much and they traded for him was because he does a lot of the little things that might not even show up on the stat sheet. But I saw it on one of ETN's big runs to like put them down at like the 3-yard line earlier in the game. He blocked like 2 guys on a crack toss, and he's just the man. Like that has really changed their season.
Jacoby Myers is if you could get a Jacoby Myers on your team, do that for
since they got him. I mean, it's completely changed Lawrence's season because again, this was another season where it was like, all right, like you can see the flashes, but he has so many bonehead mistakes and. Ever since they got him, it's like he's been a huge security blanket. Lawrence is playing with a ton of confidence, and he's basically been perfect. Like he's probably been the best quarterback in the league over the last month, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he for sure has been up there, and also Myers has been really good, and also Parker Washington has been really good.
Penn State.
Yeah.
6th-round pick.
Penn State guy.
Yes. Parker Washington is the man. He has some crazy hands.
Yeah. I actually started him earlier. I think it was like a month or so ago.
Yeah.
Because I had Marv injured for one of my leagues, and he got me like 20. I think it was the Arizona.
Really?
Game.
Good for you. Good choice.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of Arizona, Atlanta and Arizona. Arizona basically playing for nothing.
Yep. And I saw something. Their only win in like the last 13 weeks was against Dallas. So, and they blew Dallas out that game. That says a lot about the Cowboys. That was the Marvin Harrison
legacy game.
Yep. But yeah, Arizona. I think they're another team that a lot of people had as like a dark horse team to like be sneaky good in the playoffs this year.
Arizona's a few years away.
Yeah, and this year just showed they are a few years away. I also think that they have to part ways with Gannon. I think that those guys in the locker room are checked out. The Kyler situation is very strange.
Kyler's gone too.
Yep. And then Marv, obviously, he just hasn't lived up to his potential. I saw Walter Nolan got hurt at the end of this game.
Walter Nolan, I think he tore his Achilles. That's what it was.
That would be terrible.
That's a tough blow.
Mm-hmm.
Bijan was having a really good game, which all I know is that next year, if I have Bijan in fantasy, I'm living the dream knowing that Tyler Algier is probably going to be on another team.
Is he? Is he going to be a free agent?
He's a free agent, I think.
Okay. Bijan is... I mean, I was playing him this week, and he had every time he'd get the ball, I'd have to sit up in my seat. My heart started racing. He is every time he gets the ball in the open field, he can take it. He can take it home. It's crazy. He's unbelievable.
Then next game we have the Steelers and the Lions. Mike Tomlin somehow gets another record above 500 every year. Every year this happens.
I will say. This Pittsburgh team, whatever iteration it is of them over the last 5-6 years or so, it feels like they're the same team every year. They finish like 9-8. They always get that winning record. They'll always like play one game in the playoffs and they'll get blown out. But I'm not sure that's the case anymore this year. I think if they had to play a team like Jacksonville, I would probably side with Jacksonville, but they're getting hot at the right time right now.
I think they
Gainwell is playing amazing. Rodgers is probably playing the best that he has all season. I mean, he definitely is.
That's the last few years.
Their offense is really finding something, and I think they found something with Darnell Washington. And I wish that they got him involved earlier, but he is a weapon, and Rodgers is really finding him right now.
6'6", 311?
Yep. I mean,
get him the ball.
It just changes so much if you're a defense because when you have to hit this guy over and over again, if you can just get him the ball 5 times, like you're going to have these guys on their heels. They are going to be – you don't want this guy to be in the open field.
Yeah,
it just makes you a lot more dynamic.
I think as of now, they would be playing either Buffalo or the Chargers. I think that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I think that if Watt can come back, I think both of those would be pretty good matchups for them. I really do.
And they don't have DK Metcalf the next 2 games.
That is also a crazy thing we have to talk about.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I mean, I saw stuff during the game. I am like, DK, what are you doing, buddy?
I mean,
And then all the stuff came out, which I'm like, okay. I don't know what the fans said. He just said his full name.
Yeah, right. I know.
I'm like, what?
We don't know the full details. Maybe there was something said before the video. Obviously, that was prompted, but DK is been known to be a hothead his whole career. And if that guy really only just said his name and you walk up to him and you punch him in the face, I mean, getting suspended the last 2 games, two very important games for them.
Basically, a older version of what Pickens was last year for Pittsburgh.
Yep. And
that's basically what
think about that trade.
$30 million.
They traded Pickens away because of all of his shenanigans, right? Like getting all these flags and being a diva. Yeah. Pickens this year has really been great. He's only had 1 game, that Detroit game, where it was like he was checked out and he was just not into it. I mean, and Pickens is, to me, a lot better than DK. I think this season has proven that.
Yes.
And then DK is the one that's getting suspended in games that matter. So, I don't know. That's not the greatest look for Pittsburgh, but I guess we'll see.
I think it's the 3rd game that's closer than it should have been. The Raiders and the Texans game.
This was crazy.
How is this only a 2-point game?
I thought this was going to be a Texans 24-0 type of game. And
I thought Geno was going to have 3 interceptions.
Hey, Genty put him on his back.
Genty was.
For anybody that thinks,
they finally gave him the ball. I'm like, hallelujah.
Genty is not the issue at all. Like, he hasn't had the season that people thought.
Kelly.
I saw something. He still has over 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. Behind the worst offensive line in the league, bar none. They are really, really terrible.
Wow.
I know Colton Miller's been injured, but and JPJ too, right?
JPJ's been injured too.
Yep. But still, I mean, let's be serious. He is, again, far from being the issue in the run game.
I think Carroll might be a one and done.
And he probably should be. I like Pete Carroll, but, I mean, when you have a season so badly.
Pete, fries in the bag.
And by the time they're competent again, I don't know, even around 500, he's going to be 77 years old probably. You know what I mean?
I was going to say.
You don't want him
he's up there
leading
in age
the
now.
future.
How old is Pete Carroll? I think it's 74.
He's old. He's very old. Mm-hmm.
He's 74 now.
And he's healthy. I don't know why we're talking about Pete Carroll's health, but he's the man.
That's worse. It could be Bill and UNC.
Nah, he's the man. And Bill Belichick's another guy.
UNC has been a disaster.
People are like, the Browns are infatuated with him. The Browns, he is the last guy that they need. Bill Belichick, honestly, love him. Greatest coach ever, maybe in any sport.
I'm also going to say this as well. Stefanski's not been the problem.
No, he's also not the issue.
If they fire him, he is getting another head coaching job.
And he'll be great somewhere else.
This is what I think. If Bowles gets fired and Cleveland decides, Stefanski's going to be our scapegoat, Stefanski goes to Tampa, he makes them a 11-12 win team.
Yep. And I could even see Baltimore firing Harbaugh.
I would not be
Stefanski
surprised
just moving over to Baltimore.
Their expectations have been.
Yep.
And now they're probably not even going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
The AFC is not going to have Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow in the playoffs this year.
It's nuts. I think it's great, though.
I'm
very excited.
Super Bowl prediction.
Yeah. I did
in August.
I had the Ravens and Packers. Your Packers.
And now Green Bay's going to get first rounded, and Baltimore's not even going to make the Super Bowl. What in the world is happening in the AFC?
A lot of it does come down to injury, but at the same time, I mean, that's just the nature of the beast in the NFL.
Yeah.
So what happens? You get unlucky.
But speaking of Baltimore, I think part of Harbaugh needs to go. So you are up against the Patriots late in the Sunday night game. You don't put Derrick Henry in for the last 12 minutes and 30 seconds of the game.
Yep. Not to mention, I mean, they're without Lamar Jackson basically the entire game.
They have Tyler Huntley.
And he wasn't terrible. Tyler Huntley, actually, he played pretty well. But
he did all right.
I mean, you're not going to give him any help with Henry. Henry was having a huge night also.
Yeah, he had
probably the best game of the season.
And it's like, nope, we're not going to use him. We're going to use Keaton Mitchell. And I like Keaton Mitchell.
Same.
But no, not at that point.
I mean, yeah, don't you want to lean – if you're up 2 scores, don't you want to lean on Henry? Like, isn't that the exact reason why you bring this guy in there to close the game out?
And
especially with a backup quarterback. And you throw the ball every single play in the last 12 minutes of the game. I really I don't understand.
Also, there was one play before halftime. Can we investigate Mark Andrews? What was that fumble?
Oh, my goodness.
That was one of the worst fumbles I've ever seen.
My take on it was I think that maybe they had a design play where he was supposed to do a hook and ladder type of thing.
Yeah, there's no one
but
there.
You don't throw the ball when you're getting spun to the ground. I mean, is he crazy? That was nuts.
They just extended him a few weeks ago.
How many moments does he have like this? I mean, he's good. He's good for a monumental collapse of a moment, like every 6 weeks or something. Like he does something really, really silly every other week. I'd say. Like
now it's time to see if him and Terry Rozier were on the same payroll.
Oh, I saw somebody go investigate Mark Andrews DraftKings. Yeah, we should talk about the Patriots a little bit though, because I think they proved they proved a lot of stuff with that win to the public, but also to themselves, I think. And I think the way that the Buffalo game played out last week, where they were up 21-0 and ended up losing.
I was there. That was brutal.
Yes. I think ultimately that's going to be good for them, because if they had won 10 games in a row and they won that Buffalo game and they won all these games into the playoffs, obviously you're in very good position. But as a young team, I think it was good for them to feel a loss again and understand, okay, we're not invincible. We got to really lock in and not get too high over the tips of our skis. And then just the way that they won in Baltimore, I think it was that's the most optimal way. That's the perfect way for them to win, because it showed they really came back from adversity over the last 6 quarters of that was a really nice way to close it out. And I bet they probably wouldn't have wanted to do it any differently.
Yeah. And then we end up with the Monday night game and the official death of the Colts season. They're 6 feet under. They are in Australia now.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Rivers was a really cool story, though. He came out firing last night. He really looked good.
Oh, I actually had a little bit of a funny story. So I was in a pool tournament.
Okay. And
20 minutes before kickoff, 2 of the guys I'm playing with asked me, who do you think scores the first touchdown? I say Alec Pierce. Mm-hmm. I won one of them 260, another 210.
Did they put money on first touchdown? Wow. Did any of them put money on 2 touchdowns?
I think one of them did.
Really? Because, he scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game.
Yeah, he did.
I think he'll get paid handsomely this offseason. I was telling my dad that last night.
I've seen close to 20 mil.
Yep. I think I said 20 million. I think he's a guy, he's super fast.
Yeah.
And he's somebody that can space the field. He's a really good receiver. I think he's very underrated.
Yeah, where he goes, though, it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we already got through Week 16, now it's time for Week 17. So we begin with the games on Christmas. Dallas playing on Christmas against the Commanders in a game. There's 2 of these games that mean nothing.
I was going to say, basically all these Christmas games are meaningless. And I guess you have Denver, right?
Yeah, Denver. That might be the only one.
They're going to be playing against who? Chris Aludik? I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. No disrespect.
Get someone from a practice squad.
Oh, I saw they signed Shane Buechele from a practice squad.
Jesus. So that might be worse.
I guess we'll have to see, but I think on Christmas I'll probably be tuning into the basketball slate.
Yeah, I probably will be as well, also knowing that I have a couple guys in fantasy that day. So
yeah. Well, let's talk about this Cowboys game. They're playing against Josh Johnson. Every time I see this guy take the field, he looks like the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
This should be a win.
But they're playing Dallas, who has made every quarterback this season literally look like the MVP. I saw this thing. Quarterback stats against Dallas this season compared to Matt Stafford's numbers or something like that. And their numbers are basically identical. So the Dallas Cowboys this whole season have made opponent quarterbacks literally look like the league MVP. If they let this guy light them up, they should probably just burn the franchise on fire. This is going to tell you a lot about Dallas as well.
I would not want to be a fly on the wall if that happened. Seeing this happen at a Clark family Christmas.
No. And I mean,
you
honestly,
and your dad would be losing your minds.
I've already accepted my fate, but I am somebody that'll always root for them to win, especially when they have Dak playing and he's healthy.
Yeah.
I do think the offense, there's no excuses for them to put up less than 35 points. Washington has one of the worst defenses in the league this year. Really, really bad defense. Maybe the worst other than
both
Dallas.
teams put up over 30.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be what happens.
I mean, a Josh Johnson-led team should put up no more than like 17 points on a good week. So
I'm ready for it. This is probably going to be funny, but watch this end up happening. Just Traylon Burks cooking Kyrie.
Oh my goodness!
Is Elam even there anymore?
Elam's gone. He'll
Thank God.
Reddy Stewart or something like that.
Just some random corner.
Yep.
Just Traylon Burks just catching a bomb because that's going to be what happens.
You
won't
honestly,
be surprised.
Hopefully it's Trayvon Diggs, and I hope that they kick him out of the door when they say goodbye to him because he's just been a head case. Doesn't play any games, causes all these issues.
And also got
he's
a
terrible.
Installing a TV. That as
and
well.
if I'm being completely honest, I don't buy that as the story. I think it's something. I totally think it's something else that happened. But I've seen some stuff on Twitter and like Dallas circles. I think
probably
he's
gone
lying.
after this year.
Yeah, and I think it's the writing's been on the wall all season ever since the whole Micah drama was happening in the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, he was sticking up for him. There was comments back and forth between ownership at them and them at the ownership. The writing's on the wall. They wanted to end that era.
Yeah. So you think Dallas ends up winning that? Think so?
I'll say yeah. I think they win.
I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
Detroit and Minnesota. Detroit is basically playing for their lives at this point.
Right.
Because if they lose, they're eliminated.
Do you know their scenario to win? Like, obviously, they probably have to win out. But
they need to win out in Green Bay to lose out.
And Green Bay plays...
They play Baltimore this week, which will probably be Snoop Huntley.
And then they play Minnesota last week, right?
I think so. Well, no, they play Minnesota. Well, Green Bay plays Minnesota.
When is that? Last week of the season?
Last week of the season.
Okay, right. So... I mean, I guess it's not completely over for Detroit, but
they played the Bears the last week.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I want to say I believe in them to win this game. I think they'll win this game, especially if McCarthy's hurt as bad as he's been.
Yeah, Max Brosmer.
Right.
Max Brosmer, also one of the worst QBs I've seen in my life.
Shout out to my guy James Price. He's a UNH fan, and Brosmer was there. Like I want to say his first 2 years. He ended up going to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Last season, he was really good there, and then he's on Minnesota this year. He really wasn't good in that Seattle game, but I think he was actually like okay at the end of the Giants game.
That was the Seattle game. That was horrific.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But I mean, Minnesota, that they can always give you trouble any week just because of Flores.
Yeah.
But I ultimately
Flores could also be a candidate for head coaching job.
Yeah,
as well.
And he should be. I think he really should be. But
Yeah.
I'd probably take Detroit.
Yep, and then the late game, that should be Denver. Mm-hmm. There's no question.
No.
KC is beyond in the grave.
I mean, Denver has had a lot of games this season. When you think about it, right? They played the Jets. That was a really ugly.
That
game
was one of the
in
worst
London.
international games I've ever seen. Honestly, that game should be classified as an international attack. That's how bad it was.
That was a terrorist attack.
That was.
Or what, I don't know where it was. Was it Germany or London or something?
It was in London.
That was a rough one. That was one that I wish I just slept through.
I was at work watching this.
Oh, jeez.
I'm scoring a game. I have the game up, and I am basically telling one of the guys from all the way across the court, "This is you're lucky you're not watching this."
Oh man, I mean, between that game, they've played a lot of really close games against terrible teams this year, right? The Raiders, right? The Raiders, they
also
only beat
another.
Them by
why that game also was bad?
Right, it's been. Yeah, I think that actually happened twice this season where they played the Raiders pretty tight, if I'm remembering correctly. But I think ultimately, I mean, if Tennessee beats them by 3 scores, I mean Kansas City by 3 scores,
yeah,
Denver should absolutely.
This should be BTA.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, that's belt.
Saturday game, the Texans and the Chargers.
This is going to be really, really good.
A Saturday game worth a damn.
Yes, this will be great. I love these Saturday games.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite time of the year when they have these Saturday games on around like the holidays. This is tough because I feel like the Texans' defensive line is going to be able to tee off on Herbert all game. But again, it's kind of similar for both teams. I could see the Chargers just being really tough on the Texans' offense because their defense is also spectacular. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. If I had to pick, I think I'd roll with Houston just because their defense is so good.
I was going to say Houston.
Yeah.
I think they're going to hold them to mostly field goals, which would be good for Cameron Dicker.
I will say a weird Super Bowl prediction that I have is Seattle and Houston because I think the AFC is so wide open this season. We're going to come back to this and clip this video. But I think
ends up happening.
Yeah. But Houston's defense, I saw something like they line up with the Legion of Boom defense. That's how good they are. Like in all defensive categories, that's how great they've been this season. I bet those numbers went down after the Raiders game, but still, I mean, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. I don't think you can get any better.
Yeah, I am terrified.
Lassiter and Stingley.
Oh my.
Also,
God.
just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think in an AFC where, like we've talked about before, right? There's no Mahomes, there's no Burrow. And
there's going to be no Lamar if in my prediction, when Green Bay wins.
Right. There's no way Baltimore makes it, I don't think.
There's no way Baltimore makes it.
And then there's Josh Allen, right? But, I mean, I think Houston Houston and Denver are terrible matchups for Buffalo. I mean,
yeah, we saw it in the Thursday night game.
Yeah. Houston they destroyed. That was just not.
Yeah.
But I think I'll take Houston in that one, though.
Yeah, then we have Baltimore and Green Bay, which I think Green Bay wins because we don't know.
I will take Green Bay.
Easy. Then little speed run of the Sunday games. Games that do not matter for 800. Arizona and Cincinnati.
Give me Cincinnati by like 20.
The Steelers and Cleveland. I mean, the Steelers could clinch the division.
This is one where I think. Like the Steelers, they lose this type of game. I will take Pittsburgh, but they beat Detroit and then they lose to Cleveland. We'll see.
The Saints and the Titans. This is a tank bowl game.
I'm gonna take the Saints.
I'm gonna take Tennessee.
Okay, I guess they're both playing better recently, right?
Jacksonville and Indianapolis. I think no.
Jacksonville.
No Phil. Yeah,
I think they'll probably play Riley Leonard. No.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Tampa and Miami.
Ooh. I guess I have to take Tampa.
I'm going Miami.
Okay. You think Ewers has a big game?
I think Ewers has a good game. Okay. Tampa's pass defense has been horrendous. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Patriots and the Jets. Patriots.
Oh, just Patriots, yeah.
Seattle and Carolina.
This could be a preview.
This potentially could be a potential playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, because it's going to be Carolina will be the 4th seed if they win, and then the NFC West, if right. This could be Seattle at Carolina. This might be a preview. I gotta take Seattle. I think Seattle.
You can't stop.
Their defense
JSN.
Is awesome. Yeah.
JSN's been a dog. I still am livid that I decided, I'll buy the Travion Henderson hype, and I took him over JSN.
But shout out Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. And also a peak tank bowl game. We have the 2-13 Giants versus the 2-13 Raiders.
Jeez. Yeah.
The battle for the first pick. This is what this game is.
I want to say the Giants, they're probably like the best 2-13 team ever. But I think Max Crosby can get after Dart and just make it ugly. I think the Raiders ride a little bit of the momentum that they created against Houston, and they win this one.
You know what? I'm a fan of chaos, and I say they tie. For the entertainment purposes.
What's the end score? 0-0?
I think it's going to be 3-3.
Okay.
3-3
Close
tie.
enough.
Philadelphia and the Bills. This might be up there for a possible game. Oh, wait, no. There's another game of the week that's right after this.
Okay. We'll get to that one after, but
yeah,
this one I have a tough time picking this one. What do you think?
I think this game will be Buffalo winning.
Okay.
Because the run defense for Philly isn't great, so James Cook could have a field day.
I think I could see the same thing for Philadelphia, though, if I'm being completely honest with you.
I think it might be a rushing battle. James Cook.
Buffalo is, in my opinion, I think they are a very overrated playoff team. I bet if you looked at the odds to win the AFC, It's just their roster is not good at all. And even if Josh Allen puts a Superman cape on in the playoffs, which I bet he'll do,
he probably will.
I just don't think it'll be enough because their defense is just not good. They don't have a good defense,
and they're banged up too.
Their weapons. I mean, they're benching Keon Coleman at this point, right?
Keon Coleman's probably going to
playing Josh Palmer and Shavers. Like it's just. I don't know. I don't think this is
and
Buffalo's
Brandon
year.
Cooks is there too.
Right. I don't.
Dallas Cowboys legend Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little better, but yeah.
And then, what will probably end up being game of the week? Chicago at San Fran.
Yes.
And this is prime time. This is Sunday night.
I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is for the number 1 seed, but
I think if San Fran wins, they might be close to the same boat as.
Well, if San Francisco wins out, they're the 1 seed, right?
I think they need Seattle to lose.
Well, they play Seattle last week of the season,
yeah, so they could.
Right, but I'm wondering if Chicago wins this game, right? They'll have the tiebreaker over the Niners. They'll be 12 and 4.
12 and 4.
Right. So I wonder if they could get the 1 seed, and I'm not sure what the implications are, but I'm very excited. I think I'll take San Francisco. I trust them more. Chicago is a very strange team because, I mean, they're 11 and 4, right? They obviously are a good team.
But you don't expect them.
I mean, it's just so weird because it's like I want to say, like they just win these games cheaply at the end, but I mean they just do it every week. So at what point do I give them their full credit?
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I think if they win against San Fran, then you give them the credit.
I mean, I feel like you have to give them their credit right now. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, you're picking between two good teams.
I'm going to say San Fran.
I think I'll side with San Fran, but I wouldn't be surprised. I could see Chicago just owning the time of possession on the ground. And I don't know. I think I'll take San Francisco, though.
Yep. And then we have the Rams and the Falcons. Rams. 100% Rams.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams, too.
Yep. Then quickly go through the college football news. Of course, CFP games. Bama beat Oklahoma. They got their win back from earlier in the season where Oklahoma won.
Great game.
Then Miami beating A&M. That game was painful to watch for a bit.
You think so? The first half was very painful.
Half was painful.
I like low-scoring games that are competitive, though. Like, this was a great game in the end.
I think it was the field goal before halftime that it just kept going to the right.
Yep.
I'm watching the game with my dad. He misses the field goal. Which my dad, he wasn't looking at the TV. I'm watching the TV. I see it, and I just see it going right. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Did we see the fan? Did you see that part of it? The fan kicking? He was offered $1.5 million for the second kick.
Yeah.
He just missed it.
Barely.
Took it like a champ, though.
Yeah. Then, of course, the other games, the expected results. Ole Miss beating Tulane and Oregon beating JMU. JMU was making that a game, though. I didn't think they'd score 30. They scored 34.
I think it's probably best we don't talk about these games, and I think I'd rather – I want to give my solution to the college football playoff. I want to hear your thoughts on it. So I think ultimately I think the perfect amount of teams is 8. They won't do that, so I'll be realistic and stick to 12. But what they should do is if they stick with 12, have it be just the 12 best teams. But for the sake of keeping the conference championships, because those are very important and awesome to watch, I think you should secure like the 12 teams in the playoff beforehand. So let's say, like we could use this example, right? Texas Tech plays BYU in the Big 12 championship. Texas Tech, let's say they're ranked next year like 4 and BYU is unranked, but they make the conference championship. If Texas Tech loses that game, they are still secured a playoff spot. If you, like, your playoff spot can get secured before the championship game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you lose, you don't get affected. Maybe you move down in the ranking of the 12 teams, but you secure a playoff spot. But if you win, it can help you boost your seeding. You know what I mean?
Like, I think for Bama, they end up going up like a spot.
Right. Like that was the dilemma that they had this year, right? Now ultimately Alabama won, but they played Georgia in the SEC championship, and a lot of people thought, okay, well if a scenario happens where Bama gets blown out so bad, you're gonna have people say, right, and you're gonna have people say, oh, well, why did Alabama play in that game? The solution is, whenever that happens going forward, like Alabama in that position should be guaranteed a playoff spot. But if they win, let's say, I think going into that game, what were they ranked? Like
they were 9.
Something, right around that area. If they win, you could go up. But if you lose, maybe you drop a couple spots, but ultimately you are guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I think that's a good solution.
But still, it's better than when they had 4. We had the whole Florida State missing out.
Yes.
That was
crazy.
That was. I remember watching that, and I saw Bama get it. I'm like,
it's been downhill for Florida State since then, too.
Yeah, and they can't fire Norvell because that buyout is a good amount.
Yep.
Also, I saw Alabama's co-offensive coordinator, Sheridan's going to Michigan State.
I saw something like, I saw that recently.
Mikey, that's where he's going. Mikey's an MSU guy. I'm a Michigan guy.
Yep. Pat Fitzgerald.
We still own you. Oh yeah, Pat Fitzgerald being back coaching. I'm like, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, they moved on from Jonathan Smith very quickly, but I feel like they had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hire didn't work out for them.
Yeah, did not work out at all. Also, I saw Kenny Dillingham staying at Arizona State. I wanted him to go to Michigan.
Let's talk about this. What is Michigan going to do? What do you think that they're going to do?
The ideal event now, which I thought if Bama lost, this was the scenario I wanted to happen for the sake of chaos. DeBoer to Michigan, Kiffin goes to Bama.
And I've seen that a lot.
That
too.
would be then you just open the floodgates.
Right. And it's funny, with all due respect, all the Michigan fans that were chirping Penn State for how they conducted their search and how it was a dumpster fire, and we ended up with Matt Campbell, who was great candidate, right?
Yeah, I do like that hire.
We ended up with possibly like the best hire that we could have made, in my opinion. And now Michigan is in our spot,
and we have.
And now you are like in Penn State's position. So we'll see. Maybe you pull it off like we did.
Y'all.
No, he wasn't. I'm not chirping you.
Yeah, I know. Some of the fans were.
Right.
Which, also the thing with James Franklin and then Crumble Cookie.
Oh, that was funny.
That was funny.
I do gotta give credit to Franklin, but I am very happy about the Campbell era. I think because he succeeded with like no resources, and he's had basically just the amount of same success as Franklin did against top 10 teams.
Yeah.
With like a lot of less resources. So I think if you give him the money now.
So we'll do that, and then we have all the games coming up for round 2, which do you see any upsets happening with that?
Can we run through the matchups quickly?
All right, I'll run through them. So we go to the CFP.
Is it in order?
I'll do it by when they're happening. So we have Miami and Ohio State.
I think Ohio State will win pretty dominantly. I'm not gonna lie.
Oregon and Texas Tech. I can see Oregon winning.
I am so excited for this game. I don't know if Oregon's gonna win so easily.
Yeah.
Texas Tech, they have a big time defense. You know what? I'm gonna pick Texas Tech. I'm gonna do it.
Texas Tech.
I'm done. I think their defense is so good. I'm
then,
taking them.
This is my big. I think the big upset. I think Bama upsets Indiana.
Ooh. See, I don't.
You don't think so?
Well, I think the whole season, I got to stick to my guns here. Indiana and
Cignetti's
Ohio
a dog,
State.
Though. Yes. I do love Cignetti.
Indiana and Ohio State have been the 2 best teams all year, like so far and away. I think that's still the case. Alabama is just, like they're a regular playoff team in my opinion. No disrespect. They're just an average.
Yeah, it's not
team,
like the
right?
Saban era.
Yeah. Give me Indiana. I just think they're a much better team at this point.
And then Ole Miss and Georgia. Which
I'll take
that's
Georgia.
Gonna be.
But I think that can also be. I think these are all gonna be really great games.
Yeah.
Maybe other than the Miami one.
The Miami one's gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Now that we finally got through football, just quickly go through all the baseball stuff that happened. Adrian Hauser going to San Fran. Actually had a solid year for Tampa Bay, but at the same time, no one talks about the Rays because, let's be real, Rays fans don't talk about the Rays.
Mm-hmm.
They barely exist. The one thing I was kind of surprised about looking at some of the signings that happened, I thought the market for Murakami was going to be a whole lot bigger than it was. Him going to the White Sox.
What's his deal again? Like what were teams so afraid of?
I don't know. Because he was really good for Japan in the World Baseball Classic a few years back.
I saw some concerns on Twitter. Like, it was around the time, like, right after the Dodgers won, because everyone's like, oh, the Dodgers are just going to go sign this guy.
I thought that was going to be the case. Then we re-upped Muncy, but at the same time, Muncy's been there forever, so that makes sense.
Yep. Is this something against, like, left-handed, like, pitchers or something?
I think that's what it was.
It's something strange, right?
Yeah, but it's one thing you can easily adjust to it.
Right.
Also, other things that happened, Chris Martin staying with the Rangers, the Angels signing Drew Pomeranz and Jordan Romano, because, of course, they always cheap out on one-year deals. They will continue to do that until Artie Moreno sells the team. Brad Keller going to Philadelphia, which, honestly, I don't get what Philly's doing. You lose Romano, and you also lose – you trade Max Strom as well to Case 8. And right now your only bullpen get is Brad Keller. It's like they're downgrading. I don't really like that. Because they were one error away from beating the Dodgers.
I know.
That, all Ryan Kerkering is going to be living with that forever.
Yeah.
Yep. Luke Weaver signed a 2-year deal with the Mets. So, again, the Mets are taking all the Yankees players, just like last year. They took Devin Williams earlier as well. In the offseason.
What's the state of the Yankees right now? Are they going to keep what's their general manager?
Cashman's just basically got a job for life.
Yeah.
He's a yes man, so that's what it is. Tristan McKenzie, who I thought was going to be good, turns out no. He signed a minor league deal with the Padres. Padres also signed, I might butcher this, but Sungmun Sung from the KBO on a 3-year deal. I got to take some time to get better with those names. Tyler Austin signing a 1-year deal with the Cubs. Also, Yankees losing more players. Matt Strom deal I already mentioned for a pitcher. Brandon Lau going from Tampa to Pittsburgh in a 3-team trade. And Mike Burrows is the main piece going to Houston. It was a trade with Tampa, Houston, and the Pirates. Tampa's getting prospects because, of course, they will. And that wasn't the only trade they did as well, trading a former top 100 prospect in Shane Baz to Baltimore for 4 prospects. He was in the Chris Archer trade all the way back in 2018. So that's how long ago that trade was. Because it was Meadows and Shane Baz and Tyler Glasnow was in that trade for just Chris Archer.
Our guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Neil Huntington, what were you doing? Paul Blackburn stayed with the Yankees. So Yankees re-signed somebody.
Okay.
It's not great, but re-signed someone. Wilson Contreras going to Boston from the Cardinals. That was a big deal when he signed from Chicago. I think it was a few years back, and he just never panned out. That was going to be their catcher of now after Yachty retired, and they started moving him to first base, and now, of course, Bloom's like, okay, send him to Boston.
You know a lot more baseball than me. What's your outlook on the Red Sox going into next season?
I honestly think I thought they'd be doing more, but at the same time, there's a lot of offseason.
They don't spend, though.
They don't spend.
Right? That's the issue.
I mean, you think Fenway would have more money to spend? They just sold the Penguins.
I was going to say, it's probably because they have their money tied up in like a billion different sports franchises.
I was going to say, they don't have the Penguins anymore.
Thank God they didn't buy the Celtics, by the way.
Yeah.
That would have been
that would have been
brutal.
Horrendous, yeah. Jeff McNeil, who just won a batting title a few years ago, got traded to the A's, which is just the A's now. Not the Oakland A's, not the Sacramento A's. It's just the A's. They won't have a team name until a few years from now when they relocate to Vegas, which also, by the way, Oakland keeps losing teams. They lost the Warriors to across the bay. They lost the Raiders to Vegas. Now they're losing the Athletics to Vegas.
I don't like all these teams relocating.
Money talks.
I mean, off topic, but Kansas City's moving back to Kansas.
Yeah, they're moving back to Kansas.
That's
in 2031.
Too. Yep. And all these teams are going to be in the same exact dome a couple of years down the line.
Yeah. And last bit of baseball news, actually, a Quincy guy, Sean Newcomb, going to the White Sox on a 1-year deal.
Cool.
Actually, a little bit of a fun fact. So, someone we know way back in the day actually played high school ball against Sean Newcomb.
Really? Who's this?
The one and only John Marcinelli.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Our boy John.
Sweet. What position is this guy?
He's a relief pitcher now.
Okay, cool.
He was a starter for a while for the Braves, then he started bouncing around teams. Okay. He was on the Red Sox for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Now back to a little bit that you do know. We got some basketball. Pull up the standings. Detroit's still first in the East. This is the teams that 1 through 6, no play-in needed. The Pistons, Knicks, Celtics, 76ers, Raptors, and the Magic. The Sixers at the beginning of the year, they were down there in the standings. Now they're up to 4th.
Gotcha.
Maxi's hooping.
Edgecombe looks really good for them, too.
That's been a good pick.
I think, Embiid, obviously, he isn't really the future anymore, but if you have those two guys, Maxey and Edgecombe, that's a ridiculous backcourt. Those two, they are just so fast. They're so athletic. I don't know how you're going to be able to keep up with both of them.
In Orlando, having a solid year. And Toronto as well.
That's been kind of surprising, no? Toronto?
Toronto, especially with R.J. Barrett, he's been missing time.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they didn't really do a lot in the offseason. I think, it's been Scotty Barnes hooping for the most part. Brandon Ingram first full year averaging 22.
Yep. I like how they're constructed. They got a lot of long, athletic guys.
Yeah.
When you have a team constructed of like all these wing players, you
helps.
can win any game just because.
And you also have Jakob Poeltl as well.
Right.
Poeltl has been there for a while. He was drafted there, then he was in the Kawhi trade, then he got traded back for a first-round pick. Then he signed that big money extension in the summer.
Who do you think right now wins the East? And we also have to factor in. I'm not saying like number 1 seed. I'm saying when it's all said and done.
When it's all said and done.
I think Tatum will be playing basketball.
Yeah,
in
that's
March.
what I'm saying. He might be playing later on in the year, so that gives the Celtics a boost. But also, the Knicks have been doing really well.
I think even if Tatum comes back, I'll still probably lean the Knicks over them.
Yeah.
And potentially Detroit, too.
Yeah, I think Detroit, the lack of playoff experience might be what gets them.
Totally. But I really believe in Cunningham, and him and Duren together are. Duren might be the most improved player in the league. He's my guy. I love that guy. Memphis. Memphis Tiger.
Yep. Penny Hardaway.
He's a stud.
Yep. Then 7 through 10, the play-in teams. You have Cleveland, Miami, Atlanta, and Chicago. This is where Chicago normally is. They have Vucevic still doing Vucevic things, and I think he's like 33 or 34 now.
Yep.
Vuce is still hooping.
I'm not gonna lie. I really can't stand Chicago. I wish they'd pick a direction.
Yeah.
What about Cleveland? Cleveland
has fallen.
A huge disappointment this year. Mobley's hurt right now.
They've had injuries.
Yeah, Mobley's hurt right now.
Yeah, Mobley's hurt.
Last year was their year. And they
didn't do much of anything.
Look good at all.
I was saying also, Mitchell's doing his thing. He's still averaging 30.
Yeah.
But
great player.
Yeah, Mobley averaging 19. Then you have Garland averaging 17. DeAndre Hunter, who is extremely inconsistent, but still averaging 15 and a half.
From what I know, Mobley, I have him on my fantasy team, but
people
that watch the Cavs every night, I see a lot of his stats are kind of like empty calorie stats.
Yeah.
Like the impact that he was supposed to make on the court, he's just not lived up to expectations.
Yeah. I get that. And then the rest of the East, Milwaukee in 11th. Then we have the Hornets, Nets, Pacers, and Wizards. I'm like, okay, the Pacers are going to take a hit without Halliburton. I didn't think it would be this bad.
Yeah. I think you see it right now. They also got rid of Turner's not playing, but Halliburton's just such an engine. And you're seeing his loss right now, dude. He's truly like, I don't think that he...
Yeah, you have Siakam, but then... Their second and third leading scorers are Mathurin and Nembhard.
Yep.
Which Nembhard missed a bit of time as well, and he's still averaging 17 and a half, just about.
What do we think about Milwaukee? I think that
I think Giannis is gone.
They got to trade him.
I think he's gone.
They're doing him such a disservice at this point. It's very reminiscent to me of Dame in Portland.
Yeah.
Dame, like...
As a Blazers fan,
he did as much as he possibly could to stay there, and it's just like time ran its course. It's just best for both parties because, Milwaukee doesn't even control any of their future picks.
For a while.
They got to trade. There's no way that you can piece a team together around this guy.
Yeah.
Like I saw, they want to trade for, Jeremy Grant to, If you trade for Jeremy Grant, do you think that's going to win you the NBA title?
No.
You have to rip the Band-Aid off. The trade for Giannis would be easily the biggest package of all time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They could get, 6 first-round picks,
or just
a
young
superstar
guys
and make it they could really get a big time haul.
I think if he gets traded to the Spurs, the Spurs are throwing Stephon Castle in that deal.
The Thunder are probably the
easiest. If he
team.
goes to the Thunder, the league is cooked.
And I don't even think that they could do. I don't even think they will do that. But if they traded like Jalen Williams and like Cason Wallace and like I don't know 7 first-round picks.
No, don't say it. No, it probably would be Harvenstein, Cason Wallace, maybe Topic.
They'd have to make the money work, right?
They'd have to make the money work, and I mean, Harvenstein's on an expiring contract as well.
That would just be ridiculous.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, the Thunder is like they just don't even need to do it. They don't need to do it.
They
probably just won't do it.
They're 26-3. They don't need to.
You know what really intrigues me? There's 2 spots for Giannis: Detroit and Minnesota.
Minnesota with him and Ant.
That would be sweet.
It would be more. How would they make the money work? Maybe Gobert
would
Daniels.
have to be in the deal.
Yeah, probably Jaden Daniels as well.
There'd probably have to be a third team involved.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Multiple teams.
There'd be multiple teams in that, which now we go to the West. Of course, the Thunder still leading. Then we have the Spurs, Nuggets, Lakers, Wolves, and Rockets in the top 6, which the Rockets, they're about where I expected. I expected them around the 4 and 6 spot.
I think they really miss having a point guard. Shepard's been amazing this year, but the loss of Fred VanVleet has been felt.
Him tearing his ACL before the season was a blow.
Mm-hmm.
And also Phoenix at the 7 seed.
That's pretty surprising, I think.
I mean, Jalen Green's been injured most of the year.
Yep. This has been pretty surprising. I thought they'd be one of the bottom
Booker's
teams.
hooping.
Yep. Booker's
and
a great
also
player.
Grayson Allen averaging 16 points.
Mm-hmm. He's also a good player, too.
A bit of a pain.
Not a fan, but I think he's probably a better player than most people would assume.
Dylan Brooks is averaging almost 22 a game.
Another guy. They just have a lot of these guys, huh?
2 menaces to society.
Yeah. I want to talk about OKC a little bit.
Yeah.
OKC and Shea. I honestly think OKC has an argument to be the best team I've seen.
I think they win 75.
And, yeah. I mean, I know they've lost. They have lost 3 now because they lost to Minnesota recently.
Yeah.
But once Jalen Williams can get back into the flow of the offense, like integrating him has caused them a little bit of trouble recently. But, I mean, they're better with him than without him. They got to just get him in the flow of the offense. Once he's back and acclimated and they're flowing, I mean, they're so unstoppable. And I got to say, everyone, like, in the public, if you just look on social media to see how people are talking about Shea, nobody gives him credit for how good he is. I mean, last season he had probably the best season in the history of the league, right?
Yeah.
He wins the MVP. He's Clutch Player of the Year. He wins
Finals MVP.
Yep.
And the championship.
Right, and he won the conference championship MVP.
Yeah.
This year, he's probably going to do the exact same thing. He's going to win all of those awards again. And he's shooting on, like, his true shooting percentage is greater than the league has ever seen for somebody with that scoring. And he also is, his turnover percentage is so low, it's like the lowest of any scorer, 30 points a game ever. I seriously think he's the best player in the league right now. I think as much as Jokic is like as great as he is, he's probably the second best player I've ever seen. But I think right now what Shea's doing is so underrated. Yeah, he really is the super team. Like people aren't grasping this.
Which also, Shea, he's a big basketball guy through and through. The thing is, Jokic is so good for someone who could care less.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Jokic is just awesome. This isn't even a slight at Jokic is. I seriously mean it when I say, like, LeBron is the best that I've ever seen. Obviously, Steph could be number 2, but to me, Jokic is 2 to me. He's just so unbelievable. He really is. He's just the whole team.
Yeah, especially because I have him on the one league I'm in for fantasy.
Yep.
So
I'd love to see a Denver OKC Western Conference Finals this year. That'd be really fun.
But Golden State's at 8. Then we have Memphis and Portland. They're in the play-in as of now.
Portland?
Yeah, they're the 10 seed.
Okay. I don't know if
Dallas and Utah.
I'm also a big Portland fan. For any listeners that don't know this, Portland is very injured right now. I had a lot higher expectations for them at this point in the season, but Scoot Henderson hasn't played all year. Obviously, we know Dame is not going to play this season.
And Billups, all the stuff.
The
with the
Billups thing.
Literally after the first.
Yep. Robert Williams has missed time this year.
I mean, also it's Robert Williams. Expected.
I mean, when we started the season, we also had Matisse Thybulle and Blake Wesley, who they were really, really good for us to start the season. And they have both been out for like the last month. Drew Holiday hasn't played in a month.
Yeah.
So they've just been very banged up. I think if they can get all these guys back, they can be a feisty play-in team. And if they are in the play-in, I could see them still fighting for like that 8 seed at the end of the season.
Yeah, also, I don't get how the Pelicans are 4 games out of the play-in.
I guess I saw something last night. They won 5 in a row.
Yeah, they have somehow.
Yeah, Derek Queen, dude, he's the
turning into a stud.
I don't know how I feel about that trade because that pick that they traded might end up
good. And
number one, but we'll see.
Then we have the Clippers, which again we don't know what's happened with Kawhi. That will probably be something in the.
That's another thing we got to talk about.
That's all the way.
The Thunder own the Clippers pick
again,
so they're probably
if they get Peterson or DeBonsta
or Boozer.
Or Boozer.
Like, geez, dude, these guys, they just keep winning. Clippers are a dumpster fire.
Yeah, they have been for a while. And somehow the Kings are lower than them, but at the same time, the Kings went from the high point of 2.5 years ago to the worst team, and actually the third worst team, because the Wizards are the worst team record-wise.
Yeah. Yes.
You expect it from the Wizards.
Mm-hmm. Not surprised by that.
Yeah, it's not surprised whatsoever. Also, we were talking about Minnesota earlier. They're finally retiring Kevin Garnett's jersey.
Good. They
finally mended that bridge.
Dude, KG, that should have been done probably the year after he retired from basketball.
But again, he hated the old owner.
Right, I was going to say the owner or something. It's good to, as a Celtics fan, it's still good to see him like back with Minnesota. I mean, that's where he spent his whole career before he came to Boston. The city loves him. It's tough when you have that relationship with a player and they don't really want anything to do with you. Not because of something that the fans did.
And also, they completely ruined any chance to win a championship when they had that illegal contract under the table with Joe Smith.
Yeah.
Right. That's a story for another time.
Yeah. I like Minnesota. I root for Minnesota.
Yeah. Then we go from basketball to hockey because, of course, still hockey season. Eastern Conference champs, the Atlantic Division, the Red Wings are currently leading. Then we have Tampa, Montreal, then Boston. They play tonight.
Okay.
In Montreal, they made a trade before the holiday roster freeze, upgrading their center depth, bringing back Philip Deneau, who was there. He was there for a while because he was there when they made a cup run in 2021. Then he got a big contract from the Kings. And just a second-round pick for him, so... with how often Kirby Dach's been injured, might as well upgrade the number 2 center spot. Dach is a number 3 center, pretty good. But also, he's going to have all the injury concerns. So it's like, we don't know if he could be a reliable number 2 center. The Panthers are in 5th. They're still injured, at least for another month. They don't have Tkachuk for another month. He has not played yet this year.
Really? What's his injury?
Is an upper body injury. He had surgery after the finals.
Okay.
Because the amount of injuries people play through during the playoffs is wild.
Right.
And you don't know until after.
Yep.
Then we have Ottawa, Buffalo, and the Maple Leafs are last in the Atlantic Division. They just fired their assistant coach, which was Mark Savard, a former Bruin. Mm-hmm. And right now they have the worst power play percentage in the NHL at 13%.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and the team that he's coming from, Calgary, has the second worst. So, makes sense. And they're coming off a 3-game road trip where they lost all 3 games embarrassingly. So, I feel like if this skid continues, because their pick is protected, I think if it's not in the top 6, Boston has their pick.
Really?
Because they traded it for Brendan Carlo last year.
Gotcha.
So, little protected pick there. Metro Division, we have Carolina. Then we have the Flyers. Of course, your dad's a big Flyers fan.
Yes, he is.
Mitch Ka's been having a pretty solid year, which I wanted him as a Capital, but nope. He didn't want to go to Washington to be with Ovi. So, I don't like Mitch Ka. The Capitals are actually tied for second with the Flyers. Okay. They're having a pretty good year. Then we have the Islanders, the Devils. They just got Jack Hughes back, which my sister likes Jack Hughes. She's not a Devils fan, but she likes Jack Hughes.
I was going to say, I really don't know anything about hockey, but I saw this guy's dating Tate McRae.
Apparently.
Okay. That's how I know him.
That's how you know him, just from that. They have the Rangers, the Penguins, and the Blue Jackets. They also made a move getting Mason Marchment from Seattle, even though they are dead last in their division. Because, they've been injured, so just bodies to fill in the lineup, I guess. Central Division, we have Colorado. Colorado still pretty good, even though they traded Mikko Rantanen last year. Then we have the Stars, the Minnesota Wild, which they made that big trade for Quinn Hughes 2 weeks ago. The Utah Mammoth, the St. Louis Blues, Nashville Predators, Winnipeg Jets off of their record-breaking year last year. Now they're second to last in the Central. And the Blackhawks that are doing nothing for Connor Bedard, and he has his first big payday coming. Do something for Connor. Good Lord. Pacific Division, we have the Ducks, Vegas. Edmonton's in second. The Kings are fourth. They're not too far behind the Ducks. They're 5 games out. Just so you'd be like, why did they trade Danault? Danault's wanted out for a while, so they just fulfilled his request. And also get a little bit younger, too. Mm-hmm. Get an extra pick for the draft this upcoming year. The Sharks that are still doing nothing because it's the Sharks. The Kraken, Calgary, and Vancouver. Of course, the two of the Canada teams in the Pacific Division have been going nowhere for a while. And quickly finish off with the racing news. Of course, F1-wise, it's pretty quiet now because season's ended. Max Verstappen's changing his number from 33 to 3. I mean, obviously, Daniel Ricciardo was his teammate for a while, had the number 3. So I think part of it was Max wanted to do number 3 originally, but also, pay respect for his teammate as well. And then we had some news, NASCAR-wise, during the week of the unfortunate passing of Greg Biffle.
I saw this.
Yeah.
Plane crash,
Plane
right?
crash, yeah.
Terrible. Him and his family, no?
Yeah, it was him, his wife, and both kids.
2 little kids.
It was one little one, and another one was from a previous marriage he had beforehand.
Okay. That's terrible.
Yeah, I saw that, and of course, as a huge NASCAR fan, I was out, and then I got back, and that's the first thing I saw. And I'm like, yikes.
Horrible.
Because that was when I was growing up. He was with Roush for, felt like forever. Because he was there until 2016. So that was like my childhood watching NASCAR growing up. So that stung. Then we round up with little wrestling predictions because AEW has a pay-per-view this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, it's AEW World's End. Got to pull up the card, which of course there might be more matches added because they have an episode of AEW Dynamite tomorrow. Yes, they have it on Christmas Eve, but it's probably pre-recorded because, well, why are you having a live show on Christmas Eve? You mad people. Looking at the matches so far, we got 2 semifinals for the Continental Classic, and then the third match is basically the winner of those. We have Konosuke Takeshita and Okada. Both of them are in the same group, and they're facing off in a semifinal matchup. So that's going to be interesting to see. And then Kyle Fletcher and Jon Moxley, they've had multiple matches so far. They just had a match at their last pay-per-view, Full Gear. I know you're not big into wrestling anymore, so
I caught the Cena match.
The Cena match,
right.
Yeah. Which, how did you think of the ending?
I think it's what he wanted, but I don't see a single
I think
person
having him tap out, and they were not happy about that.
Well, I saw the whole thing was like, his mantra his whole career has been never give up.
And that was the first time since 04.
Yeah.
04 was the last time he tapped out. It was the Kurt Angle on No Way Out.
I can see him, that's his way of like paying it forward, right, to the next generation, right? Like, my time is done. But, I mean, come on. Like, I really disagreed with it. And everyone is going off on Triple H. I think they should have. I think that was very deserved.
I mean, I understand why people are mad about that, but the thing that annoys me, this is Cena's last time as an active competitor in a WWE ring.
Yep.
And the fans just took over that entire part of the segment. That's the part that annoyed me.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
yeah, like I get it. You gotta, even though he lost, like, you gotta let the moment breathe, Like, you don't want him walking out to like just F Triple H chance.
I know.
It's more like, all right, can we just celebrate this guy,
yeah.
please?
And then they had the video and they showed a thing of Vince, which I'm like, oh, they're actually showing Vince.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all the stuff with him.
It was kind of surprising, no?
Yeah, a little bit surprising there. But yeah, back to this real quick. So it's these 2 matches. whoever wins these two matches face off later in the night in the final for the Continental Championship. I think Okada beats Takeshita and Fletcher beats Moxley, and Okada beats Fletcher in the final. Darby Allin versus Gabe Kidd, which I don't get how Darby Allin is cleared to compete. Darby Allin's probably one of the crazier wrestlers I've seen in the last decade. Like, all I'm saying, after the show ends, search up some of the crazy stuff Darby Allin's done. Even pre-signing to AEW. He has been a bit messed up in the head for a while. He's probably the closest thing as of the last decade to Mick Foley.
Really? Okay, I'm not familiar with this guy, but that says a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is crazy. But he's facing Gabe Kidd. I think Darby ends up winning that. FTR facing the Bang Bang Gang for the... Yes, that's the name, by the way. Which...
Oh, boy.
The former Bullet Club Gold. Now it's just the Bang Bang Gang. For the AEW World Tag Team Championship in a Chicago street fight. I think FTR retains the championship. Then we have the match for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. The first time it's being defended on pay-per-view, by the way.
Really?
They just had the team that won the championship, the Babes of Wrath, which was 2 weeks ago. It's like, oh, look. Championship defense on pay-per-view against Athena and Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks.
Oh, I know Sasha Banks.
Yeah, she's in
Boston, right?
Yeah.
Boston, okay.
Yeah.
I knew that.
She's in AEW now.
Okay.
Which I think the Babes of Wrath retain. Because why are you going to have them win a tournament just to lose a belt 2 weeks later? Mm-hmm. Have it make sense. The AEW Women's World Championship match. We have Chris Statlander against Jamie Hayter. I think Chris Statlander retains. And then the main event for the AEW World Championship. We have Samoa Joe defending against Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, and the returning MJF. He was out with injury, but you might know MJF more from his role in Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, I know MJF.
Yeah, he is a bit, he could be something at times.
Why has he not moved to WWE?
It looked like for a while he was going to, but then he re-signed a new deal. So.
They probably are paying him handsomely now.
Oh, yeah, they are probably paying him a good, well, six figures.
Right. Because I was going to say, like, I've only really seen clips of him, but he seems like a personality that WWE really needs. Like,
yeah, then two of the guys in this match as well, Swerve and Hangman, they've had history for a while, including at one point, Hangman burning down Swerve's childhood home.
Wow.
Another thing for you to search up.
That's great.
AEW's had some crazy moments.
Yeah, I got to see this.
Yeah. And then Samoa Joe is the champion out of all of this because he won the belt from Hangman Adam Page at Full Gear when Hook turned on Adam Page and rejoined the Ops. Which, again, AEW team names are something. And they're the AEW World Trios champions as well.
Gotcha.
So it's Joe, Shibata, and Powerhouse Ops. But honestly, I think that Joe retains the belt. Even though MJF is finally using his guaranteed world championship match that he won back in July.
Wow, that long ago?
Yeah, he took some time off after it was All Out, which he had a thumbtack match with Mark Briscoe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tables and tacks match, that's what it was.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Neither did I until this happened. That was the first one I could think of. AEW, where all the crazy stuff happens. Also, when they brought in Nick Gage at one point many, many years ago, who is well known for being crazy, wearing a ski mask to the ring, and the one time he didn't wear a ski mask is when he actually robbed a bank. True story.
Oh, boy.
Anywho, that's all for this week's edition of The Last Word. We will have one more for the new year. We do have an episode next week. I'm not just going to be in the void like last year. I'll be here next week. I'll be away beforehand. So, Brady, it's been a pleasure.
TJ, I love doing this. Absolutely, man.
Yep. So, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And I will see you all next week. Peace.